Hi, this is Shu with a review of the Reebok DMX Comfort Plus. This is a very fascinating shoe because I did not expect myself to be so excited about this shoe or to be wearing them for weeks and weeks. Um, so DMX is the short form. I think it stands for Dynamic Motion X. It actually was better than Zoom Air in the fact that Zoom Air did try and have something like this with a chamber and two different compartments where the air will be circulating a little bit, but Nike Zoom Air kind of ditched that idea and just decided to make it Max Zoom Air or Zoom Air on the heel and the forefoot, which I don't think is as attractive or effective as this. Chamber compressing a little bit, more place to give, and once it's given there, the air is there to be ready for some compression there, and so it cradles and comforts and supports your movement a lot better than just having two separate, disconnected chambers, disconnected cushioning setup. So this was great, but originally the ones they tried in the 1990s, the idea was great, but the durability and quality issue was there. As you wear them out, the air would kind of dissipate or the chamber would get broken. So yeah, and the basketball shoe they implemented in, like the Reebok Answers, either they were too bulky and you didn't feel it, and then they tried to minimize it and you didn't feel it, and then when you start feeling it, it's gone. The air is completely busted. So in the 2010s, I think Reebok, when they gave up on making performance shoes and decided to focus on like walking shoes for women, which was rounded all over, and the DMX cushion actually worked. And I actually played some serious sports in those shoes, and they were really great. And I was sad they did not implement that in performance shoes, but Reebok was kind of on a dying end and barely on life support thanks to Adidas back then. But now Reebok is focusing on something serious and trying to come up with something more performance based. And this actually, I think, is about a year old, and this was released as one of those run-of-the-mill comfort shoes. The DMX name is there, but it's not the same kind of DMX. You can see these holes, so they're like the you see those holes on the side of the on-run cloud foams. Is that the name they have? And those compression material concept works nicely. This actually works even better in my opinion. So this seems like a hybrid of the original Hexalite from the 90s, where the honeycomb squares would compress and rebound without having to be in a chamber, or you don't have to worry about it losing air, because it's not depending on any encapsulated air. It just compresses and rebounds on itself. So this looks like an oversized version of that, kind of combined and in tandem with the DMX concept. I don't know if this is compressed air. I don't think so, because these are holes and these are foams on the upper. So they're just expanding and contracting and having a bit more space for the air that's loose to kind of move around. So without any knowledge, if I were to run or start moving in now, I would say they're very much like the original good DMX, and added to that the durability or the rebound of the Hexalite. So it's awesome. The cushioning is awesome. For size 9, it weighs about 360 grams, but the midsole is where all the weight is because it's pretty substantial. The upper is super lightweight. It feels a little bit more bulky than what the digits show, but it's not too bad. The upper is sort of engineered mesh, but depending on the color scheme, they come up with different materials or different colors. But overall, there's no crazy dead space. The shoe forms around your foot nicely, and the lace loops do a nice job of locking it down all correctly and nicely. There's no crazy dead space, and there's no pitching sensation anywhere. So yeah, true to size. Or if you're really narrow and like a tight fit, maybe go down half a size. The cushioning is great. Again, the insole is sort of like a blend of this kind of recycled foam, which feels pretty good. This is more durable, but not as touch sensitive, but it has an added layer of ortholite kind of material. So together they do a great job of molding to your foot and providing that stepping comfort. At the same time, the other material provides a bit more rebound and bit more of resistance in terms of retaining its shape and continuing to provide that stepping comfort that you felt on your maiden voyage with this shoe. So the insole, midsole works greatly in tandem, and they do not wear out or bottom out crazily fast. The tongue is kind of like one piece, so if you don't like the laces and you just want to slide these and wear them comfortably without the laces, remove all the laces, there'll be no problem. Overall, the padding is really nice. I like this little this loop or the nose or the cone, whatever, that lets you slide your foot with comfort without having to, scrunch or get your thumb involved. It's nice. Heel cup is there to provide lockdown, no heel slippage on this shoe. There's no outrigger, but the shoe actually is much lower to the ground than what it seems. Initially, when you put it on, you feel like it's kind of beefy and high off the ground, but it's not a Hoka. It actually, the more you wear it, the more it becomes more lower to the ground without jeopardizing the comfort and the cushioning that you first felt. So it's great. It's a lot more stable and nimble than what you assume from a casual comfort shoe. And the outrigger is fantastic. This diamond kind of nodules, they're great. They're kind of like reminiscent of the KD8s or the Kyrie 4s, just as good, if not better, because any dusty surfaces, this was gripping like crazy. So what a waste of great tech on a casual shoe. I actually wore this to play basketball, and I actually love wearing this more than any other modern basketball shoes I have out there. That's how great it feels in terms of the cushioning, support, and the aftermath. You don't feel the kind of soreness on certain parts after playing for a prolonged period. So it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's probably on like a 50% discount, a limited amount of color and size maybe, but this is an awesome shoe. But this is way better than the Reebok Engine A. That shoe, it's stiff. The cushioning divide is there on the foot, which is kind of disruptive in terms of the overall flow of the shoe. Design, of course, that's way better. But if Reebok can reproduce this exact model in a more performance model, I would take that shoe over any other model out there. So the midsole feels sort of like Zoom X on Jordan 39 with Zoom Air, but not much of the Zoom Air, but it's different. It's like DMX with Zoom X, if you can get what I'm trying to say. It's pillowy, it rebounds, and it's low to the ground, and yeah, you just don't want to get them off. It's crazy that this is just a casual walking shoe that Reebok kind of accidentally it's a happy accident, like the Post-it or the windshield, which cracks but stays together without shattering the glass everywhere because someone accidentally left some sort of a chemical on a flask, and the flask was dropped and the glass was retained, and that became a great invention. Or the ganache, which is like a chocolate concoction where some young assistant chef accidentally spilled something on the boiling milk, and the head chef was going, "Ganache, you idiot," and that "you idiot" became the name of the chocolate, I heard. So a happy accident, but a great one for this Reebok DMX Comfort Plus. Please keep using this midsole.